So we tried to do our best with what we picked here. Tom Coates wrote in. He says, do you have any advice for making small circles with a router table and flush trim bit? I've been trying to make some 9 centimeter circles. Not too sure what that works out in Freedom units. What's that? 3.5 inches? I don't have time to do the conversion. It's over 3 inches, I think. It goes quite well until I get to the short grain and it pops a chunk off. I'm using an acrylic template and attaching with blue tape and CA glue. Would there be a preferred router bit in terms of diameter or compression, down, shear cut? My stock is all 12 millimeters thick. I go as gently as I can, given how close my fingers are to the cutter on a router table. I also cut them as close to final size as I can on the bandsaw first. This is an operation that kind of scares me. I don't enjoy doing small circles like this. If you're going to attempt it, you definitely want like the sharpest spiral cut bit that you can possibly get. Compression bit is perfectly fine, even if it's not, though. I think we're talking about end grain issues. Mm-hmm. One of the key challenges, if you're doing this, is you want to make sure you don't start on the end grain portion of the cut. You want to start in the long grain portion of the cut, make full engagement with that bearing, and then you're rotating this piece through. You do not want to bring the piece off of the bearing. That's where you're going to run into trouble. If you bring it off the bearing and then even just a little bit, like a 64th is all it takes, and then you come back in when you're in one of those sections where you're against the grain or on the end grain, that's where you're going to have a problem. So it needs to be a smooth, continuous run, always keeping this thing up against that bearing. Now, that said, this still is not my favorite thing for me to see you do. I think small circles on a router like that, and especially with some more temperamental woods, can be really problematic. The way I would probably tackle this, if you have to do a lot of these, is to forego the template. You can use the template to get your rough cuts done. And have you guys ever seen the disc sander jigs for sanding circles?
That's exactly what I would do for this. It's too small.
Yeah, yes.
Sure.
Yeah. So we got an old video here featuring Bob Lang back in the old Pop Woodworking days, showing a very basic version of one of these jigs. This exact thing doesn't seem to have any kind of stop on it, and that's going to be the key to getting consistent circles. But this is something that you can adapt and utilize to make in a much safer way. And here's the thing, it's a sander too, so you're getting a smoother cut, and it's ready to go when you're done.
Probably faster at the end of the day.
I would think so too.
Sticking a template on there, you're not like trying to figure out how to get this on the router or whatever.